Peace, peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now, I may make this a part two, in essence, to my video dealing with the full moon and Pisces. Full moon on Pisces, September 13th, Friday the 13th. Uh, but I may draw this as a connection to it, but wanting to speak on just the certain aspects of certain retrogrades we're dealing with, and again, what a retrograde is. A retrograde is when a planet, from a visible aspect, a planet seems like it's standing still or going backwards. You know what I'm saying? When you think about retro, going backwards, everybody like, oh, the retro J's, the new J's that came out, but it's like the sixth release of the same shoe that came out when we was little kids or whatever. To each his own on how you deal with shoes and stuff. Cause we all vibe what we vibe with in this realm of reality. As much as I'm bullshitting about it, to each his own. Not being judgmental. That's very key right now. But retro. Again, a planetary retrograde is when a planet seems like it's standing still or going backwards instead of continuously going on its orbit. And all right, well, what does a retrograde mean for us on the energetic level? Well, it's telling us to, slow down in the sense of like being more reflective, like the energy that planet is dealing with, you know. So if Jupiter is in retrograde, it's asking you to, kind of sit back, go inward, and reflect on how you deal with your expansion and how you deal with your wisdom, and that certain aspect. Or Mercury retrogrades, asking us to stand back and reflect on how we communicate, and how we deal with commerce, deal with our magic in essence, because matter of fact, the card that deals with Mercury is the Magician in the tarot deck, because the Magician deals with the magic, and Mercury is also connected to the Papa Legua energy, again, the messenger of the gods, in between those realms, because if you message into, gods have different, like, gods could have polarizing energy, so it would take that one being to be able to go through this realm, go through that realm, and be a universal frequency, hence why I caught the download to even, give that name to the little representation of my bodysuit and my YouTube channel, but yeah, so retrograde is a reflective energy, and I kind of spoke on this a little bit, again, like historical, astrological transits and their significance, again, Declaration of Independence and, 9/11 and all these different aspects of the planned aspects of planned situations all have to deal with, planetary transits and certain things moving on in the cosmos, you know, uh, and again, people using that energy to their advantage. I spoke on Nancy Reagan and Ronald Reagan with their astrologers. In fact, I don't know if it's blue pill or red pill. Shout out to Brother Rich in the Black Magic channel, Black Magic 363. If I'm not mistaken, and he also got the new channel called the God Frequency. If I'm not mistaken, check out Brother Rich work as well. But one of them spoke on meeting Nancy Reagan's astrologist while out here in LA somewhere, But again, it's very important to keep up with this energy. As a matter of fact, right now, we're dealing with this quote unquote Saturn shakedown right now. This Saturn energy is, rattling our cage. Again, it's not no bad, good, right or wrong, and no coincidence that, because I think about the Saturn energy and I think about this Black Obsidian, I think about the Kali Ma energy, that Kali Ma energy is like that, although, feminine, that primordial, like, you know what I'm saying, kind of got like that Mars or masculine energy with it too. It's kind of like the Sekhmet energy as well. And hence why, again, shout out to Seven Bomar, you know, uh, Seven Bomar bringing up how the Saturn energy is like Mrs. Doubtfire. And matter of fact, if y'all not familiar with the movie Mrs. Doubtfire is when Robin Williams played like a nanny, like he played like a woman, like an old woman or whatever, you know, that movie. So if you're unfamiliar with that, but you know, that's that Kali Ma energy, that change, you know. I did a video about the Kali Ma, the Navaratri celebration. Navaratri is like Nava, I think is what stands for night, and Ratri 9, I can't remember, but it's like Sanskrit for the 9-night festival, and 9 deals with completion. And matter of fact, right now we dealing with, you know, some people, you know, may still consider September the 9th month, but you know, again, look at the words, you know, in the prefix, you know, September. Sept deals with 7. You know, October, deals with 8. An octopus has 8 legs. You know what I'm saying? I think I forgot the Spanish name for 9, but I was about to say nueve. That might be wrong, but anyway, like the no in essence for November 9, and December, you know, D dealing with the 10. You know what I'm saying? So hence, you know, that's the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th month, and not the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th month, like how we were told again when somebody created the Gregorian calendar because they want to confuse everybody and have you celebrate New Year's when you should be hibernating and get ready for the real New Year's in April. Hence why April, you know, April 1st is called April Fools, and a coincidence of like April Fools, like you fucking celebrated New Year's on January 1st, like, you know, April Fools. You know, the word April, I think in Latin, if I'm not mistaken, means hinge on a door or to open. Don't quote me, but it's one of those, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, and hence why etymology is so important as well, because you could break down a lot of shit, you know, and this, again, doing this work for yourself. Now, some people, you know, may feel a vibe to be a debater and debate with people about certain little aspects and things of this nature. Because, again, I'm not a debater, but I have said it in cases of, like, you know, where it's like, bruh, look, if I was a debater, look, I'm down to, you know, to tear into your ass with this information, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not into that vibe, you know, I just express it, you know, it's not in my, that's just not for me, for that debating vibe, you know, in which I did enough of that in my growth when it wasn't pertaining to stuff, you know, like this, you know, like debating on who better Allen Iverson, Kobe, or who better this and that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, whatever. But you know, yeah, like having that awareness. So, and again, back to this 9, you know, so today, you know, which is September 9th, as I'm recording this video, it should get posted today as well. You know, they call it the 999 gate, you know what I'm saying? And the 9 energy deals with that completion, you know, matter of fact, you think about also in connection with the Pluto energy as well, but it deals with like completion and transformation or ending a cycle, you know, and that's what a lot of us doing. And we talk about ending the cycle, and we talk about a feminine energy, a feminine on being, you know, having a moon cycle, you know, being on a cycle, and think about the word feminine, femma 9, you know what I'm saying? And then we talk about a feline or a cat, which has 9 lives, you know what I'm saying? And that whole connection, matter of fact, and the reason why the Catholic Church, when you break down the etymology, is cat and holic, a Catholic, which means cat, and holistic, meaning the cat is all, or holistic, the cat is, you know, creates the whole. And we dealing with, and matter of fact, go check out my videos on Lyran beings, Lyran, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna dive too deep into that right now, but again, you know, that 9 energy and this connection over in a cathedral, you know, cat and hedral, you know, a cat, you know, again, the cat geometry, the hedra, like a tetrahedron or octahedron, or, you know, hedron deals with geometry. And, you know, cathedrals are, again, these buildings made to mimic the aspect of the, you know, the different pyramids and monuments around the world that is aligned, where the measurements are aligned with, planetary transits and planetary energies. The pyramids of Giza are lined up with Orion's belt, exactly, and also has a connection with the golden mean ratio as well. Signs that go into it. And they try to mimic that with these cathedrals and all these things of this nature. So right now, again, we're dealing with, and Saturn energy is seen, as Chronos, father time, and in Greek mythology, Chronos eats his children, you know what I'm saying? Chronos to eat his children. And Chronos just represents, again, like, that fatherly aspect. Also having a feminine Kali Ma energy to it, and that essence of it, but the Chronos, as a matter of fact, you think about the etymology of that, we talk about putting things in chronological order, chrono and then logical, so it's like the time and logic and order, you know what I'm saying? Think about that, chronological order, you know what I'm saying? That's a masculine word right there. Chronological order. Have order and discipline and structure. Again, it's no good, bad, right, or wrong. Also, check out my video on niche chakras. Or again, just type in universal frequencies and Saturn, and most of my videos should come up, which they are. Working the again, certain energies, and it is what it is. I'm not blaming, because there is a level of again, you don't want to like, oh, look at them trying to do this, them trying to do this and this and that. But it is a fact that, again, without looking at YouTube, it's trying to harm me. I'm trying to say that, oh man, YouTube always trying to do this to my videos. Like, I started off on my growth. Y'all remember, like, again, focus on what we focus on growth. So I wouldn't pay attention or give power to that energy. But, just seeing like, hey, as being the truth or somebody who shares these certain truths, there's a certain energy that I set in place. I, along with other God energies, set place when we created this realm. We created that contrast, or that that negative spark to create. Because without the positive, it would be negative. Without negative, there would be positive. They keep each other, symbiotic relationship. So you could check out my my videos on the Saturn energy in that sense, but yeah, because I was talking about the structure, the chronological order. But right now we're dealing with the energy of, reflecting, or basically letting go of old karmic relationships. And again, Saturn is in retrograde. Let me speak on the retrogrades right now. Saturn retrograde started on April 29th, and it's going into September 8th of this year. So September 18th. Hey, which no coincidence is the number 9 when you add up the 1 and the 8. You know what I'm saying? Because in numerology, you add to reduct to make a smaller number. Because all numbers go back into one number. The only numbers that exist is, basically 0 through 9 in that sense. Because even when you get to 10, you reduce that. That's back to 1. What 12 is. Or 11. 11 is 1 plus 1, that's 2. So, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it's just represented by, because the number 500, you could be like, oh, that's way down the line. But still, 500 is just 5, 2 zeros and a 5, would it be 999, is basically like 9 times 3 in essence. And 9 times 3 is 27. And what 27? 7 plus 2. 7 plus 2 is 9. It all goes back to 9. And 9, goes back into itself in that sense of it, like the 9 timetables, again, 9 times 2, 18, again, September 18, 8 plus 1, 9, all that. Anyway, Saturn retrograde, ends on September 18th. 2019. Then we also got Pluto retrograde that's been there. As a matter of fact, Saturn is retrograding in its home in Capricorn, so it's dealing with, structure, long-term goals, our ambitions, being reserved, hardworking, discipline, tactfulness, our reputation, public image, is dealing with that, and is asking us to reflect not only again on how we are responsible and structured, but also in the sign of Capricorn. Again, Saturn is at home. A planet is, when they say a planet is at home, it means it's in the zodiac sign, in the area of the zodiac sign that it rules over, so Saturn is at home. So again, April 29th to September 18 in 2019 is the Saturn retrograde for Pluto. Pluto has been in retrograde from April 24th, and is going to be in retrograde until October 3rd, 2019. And then some other active retrogrades right now. Neptune started its retrograde June 18th, and it's coming out of retrograde in November 27th. As a matter of fact, no coincidence, November 27th or 28th is Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere around that area. So you see, so we gotta have these awareness again about these, and it should be in my astrology playlist. If you go look at my astrology playlist, I should have a video that spoke on how we should be aware that these holidays is not for us to be celebrating them in the sense of that, but really connecting with our energy and our power on these days, connecting with our inner universe and connecting with the ancestral energies and the elements, and doing our magic on these days, you know what I'm saying, doing our little rituals, because everything we do is a ritual. But for sure, when we have a strong focus intention, that's what really gives it that strength. So again, Neptune from June 18th to November 27th in 2019. As a matter of fact, Neptune is at home in Pisces. I spoke on the Uranus being in the Taurus energy. The Uranus has been retrograding since August 11th, 2018. And it's going to be retrograding until January 10th, 2020. And it's going to be in the zodiac sign of Taurus for the next 7 years. And then we're going to have a Mercury retrograde coming up October 31st to November 20th. It'll be about 3 weeks, something like that. October 31st to November 20th, 2019. So is that that's the retrograde. So we're being asked to reflect, Neptune, the dreamy aspect, intuition, psychic abilities, spirituality or spiritual enlightenment, mercy and compassion, inspiration, but also, the negative aspects, illusion and confusion, being reflecting in this area of our realm and reality. Because again, it's our inner universe, first and foremost, and then it reflects outwardly. And I tell people, it may seem, tough to believe, and we don't want to create that word magic and make it sound hard or tough, but it's just the human psyche, and plus part of our humanity is not trying to see us grow in that sense, so it's going to look at it as hard to believe because it don't want us to understand our inner truths and break out of this lockdown that we're in and grow out of this realm, you know what I'm saying. But Uranus deals with eccentric, sporadic, unpredictable energies, you know what I'm saying, being eccentric and unconventional. So it's reflecting on our unconventional list, you know what I'm saying, and it's in connection with, the Taurus energy. The Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Taurus energy deals with being physical, loving what you do and loving the sensual aspect of life, you know what I'm saying, being more grounded, you know what I'm saying, in that sense of it. So it's reflecting on our eccentric, unconventional energy in connection with how we deal with our bodysuit and how we deal with our five senses, and we deal with art, creativity, and our love aspect, And then again, the Mercury retrograde, y'all familiar with that? And I said that, again, reflecting on communication, commerce, technology, you know what I'm saying, and how we deal with that realm. right now, we're dealing with too. A lot of us may be connecting, I'm not big on, again, creating that little twin flame, because some people get into it and, again, turn it into a chase of like, oh, I gotta find my twin flame, and not realizing, again, like, from the skillet to the frying pan, you're creating a situation where I gotta find something externally in order to be complete. No, you gotta be complete, and then you'll manifest that external extension of yourself. Whether it be the feminine or masculine aspect, depending on on your vibe. And again, to each his own on your vibe. Now, of course, again, and I'm not going deep into that, but like with the sexual energy, like, oh, is that, like. What they call homosexuality, whatever. Some souls chose a certain path in this reality. It came down through a vessel or a portal. A portal that had a lot of soy in it and fetal estrogen, hence, aka your mom, what you call your mom. Her portal, her womb. She had a lot of soy or whatever going on. But you chose to come down to work out a certain karmic energy in connection with that. Or your soul purpose, or should I say, and your soul purpose is in connection with working through that energy, or what have you. You also got androgynous beings who watch over portals. You know what I'm saying? Like, the masculine and feminine energy together. You know what I'm saying? But then you got just nasty ass humans. But no, like, real talk though, and again, it's created by society in that sense of it, and hence why I always speak about the promotion of it. Like, I'm not against nobody being, who they truly are, what I'm saying? Be who you truly feel you should be. It's an understanding that, the government, or oppressing energies, the black cabal, whatever people want to call it, promote these things in order to confuse people. You know what I'm saying? People who may have not came down here with that. And again, if they got caught up in it, though, hey, that, for them to get caught up in it, that's a part of their karmic energy. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, there's beings who really came down here to work out a certain energy through that realm of reality, whether it be, a woman liking a woman or a man liking a man, But then there's just people who, all right, because I couldn't have sex with the opposite sex, I couldn't have sex with the opposite gender, let me just have sex with whatever. I speak on it like those people who would have sex with a dog or a squirrel or whatever, like they just trying to poke their hole in something, or have something poke a hole in them, you know what I'm saying? And they don't really care about any of that. And that's the sexual delinquency. Again, even with that, no good, bad, right, or wrong. That's just the certain karmic energy and the certain things they have to deal with. But it is, or should I say, and it's that understanding though that, again, though, that's promoted and taught, not necessarily a thing. That's the true essence. But again, it's all on your karmic energy. So back to the twin aspect, again, you gotta be the change you want to see, or you gotta be the one to attract the one. I done did a video on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about like, oh man, once I get my twin flame, then I'll be complete. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, if you're trying to search for that, when you're not complete, then you're gonna even make it, in most cases, quote unquote, worse, as far as like, even driving that connection further away. Gotta be the one to attract the one, you know what I'm saying? We gotta work on ourselves, I gotta love myself and feel whole myself before I could, attract those situations. So it's not looking for it as like no Jesus, like, well, once Jesus come and die on the cross again, then I'll be saved. No, once you do your own inner work and raise that Christ energy within you, aka, the Christ seed, all that raises from the root to the crown, and the whole story of he's ascended into heaven and is seated into the right hand of the Father, and all this other stuff that the Catholic religion talk about ain't just a confusing, allegorical way to speak on a straight up Christ energy, and also the sun energy as well, you know what I'm saying? Because when the sun, again, Judas represents the Scorpio energy, or the kiss on the cheek, you know what I'm saying? Like, from the the Scorpion constellation. So, because again, the 12 apostles or 12 disciples, or the 12 disciples, or the 12 disciplines, or the 12 zodiac signs. And again, the picture of the Last Supper, you could kind of see, like, if you pay attention to it, they'll all be kind of doing something in connection with the energy they represent. And Judas was like that kiss on the cheek, or that sting from the Scorpion, because when the sun gets into the Scorpio constellation, it's right before it goes into the winter time, aka the Tropic of Capricorn, and Capricorn ruled by Saturn, or Satan, went to hell, you know what I'm saying? Those days of darkness, you know what I'm saying? Because the 3 darkest days is right before December 25th, or Christ's birthday, or some people, again, it's Jesus thing, but again, it's made to be a historical character. Just stick with knowing that it's a Christ energy, and it's and again, the Christ energy speaks to having the heart chakra balance. And the heart chakra, no coincidence that, through Sanskrit, basically Sanskrit, or the symbol for the chakra, for the heart chakra, is the Star of David. You know what I'm saying? Talk about the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Jehudi. Jehudi is the older name for Thoth, and that whole little connection right there. But the heart chakra, represent that balance and that discernment. So it's about having discernment. The Christ energy is having that unconditional love and discernment. Discernment meaning I can discern from things. Like, I'm not just like, oh, it's just peachy and la 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 la. Like, nah, having the discernment of, like, all right, I know to not deal with that energy, or I know to, handle this energy a certain way, because again, loving yourself is not letting somebody fuck over you and your family, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean we, like, trying to prepare for no physical fight. That's another thing that somebody trying to push and that they want, again, this construct of how we created it, it's you doing your inner work that reflects outwardly, you know what I'm saying? But again, that heart's discernment. So again, a lot of us connecting with twins right now, and also realizing that you have been being prepared for your twin. Like, all your past relationships were like a little piece of, your twin connection, you know what I'm saying, within this lifetime, you know what I'm saying, and those little reflections that reflected little parts or pieces may have been, whether it's a twin in a past life, or or just having some type of soulmate and karmic energy that had to be worked out in order for you to to connect with your true twin. But again, me, I'm not much on the twin, because I just see how people get caught up in the hysteria of, like, trying to chase down the twin flame, again, hopping from the skillet to the frying pan. Oh, it's not a frying pan, it's a skillet. It's different. It's named different. Nah, but it's still used to fry your ass up, you know what I'm saying? So whether it's called a skillet or a frying pan, you're still dealing with the same energy, and hence why, again, like, we're dealing with Orishas and certain deities. It's not for you to externally worship, it's to realize they are inside of you, and for you to interface. Because again, as a primordial being, as no thing on a human experience, existing, before a lot of these God concepts was even created. So again, these energies are internally inside of you. But right now, reflecting on resurrecting, or should I say, reflecting, or wait, let me see. Reflecting on resurrecting certain rules, or re-examining. So with the Saturn energy, we're being asked to re-examine certain little, responsibilities, should I say rules or constructs within our realm that no longer serve us, you know what I'm saying? And hence, again, karma is not, oh, you did something good, so something good happened, you did something bad, so something bad happened. There's no good or bad in the first place in that sense of it. That's cause and effect. All right, example. Oh man, going to jail was bad, because I was locked up for a certain amount of time. And then another person be able going to jail was good, you know what I'm saying? Because after being locked up, I learned my lesson, and I was able to change my life around, you know what I'm saying? That's both. That's that's a perspective thing. That's from a perspective outlook. That's not necessarily like, oh, jail is bad or jail is good. It's neither. You know, it's how a person, views it in that sense of it. But even their viewpoint is their kind of viewpoint and their experience with it. It's still not making it good or bad. Like, oh man, hot water is good and cold water bad. Like, no, because again, it depends on the situation, how it's used and how it's interfaced with. So again, there's no good, bad, right or wrong. You know, it's a a perceived energy. So again, we re-examining. As a matter of fact, right now, a good exercise will, again, writing out certain things of like, I release old contracts that no longer serve me, old karmic contracts. Because again, we sign contracts, we sign soul contracts to come down here and work out certain karma, and we releasing these contracts. Like I released the contract of lack within my family, ancestral lines. You know what I'm saying? And again, we talk about certain degrees, like again, getting your 1 degree of knowledge, you know what I'm saying, when it's really about 360 degrees. And we talk about angles, because again, with a degree is like an angle. You got a 90-degree angle, and an angle is also an angel and an angle of light, you know what I'm saying, and hence our ancestrage or ancestral lines, deals with coming down into this realm at certain angles, you know what I'm saying, a certain degree and getting certain degrees of knowledge, and hence, I spoke on this, like, how some people feel like we have 108 lifetimes, and I was like, 108 is also connected to the 9 energy and also connected to the feminine, the feminine aspect of the KarlHaynes aspect, but also the cat energy out of lion being having 9 lives, you know what I'm saying, and 9 lives, hence you have 9 lives in each zodiac sign, and there's 12 zodiac signs, so, you do 9 lives as a sun, where your sun sign is Aries. You got 9 lives where your sun sign is Taurus. 9 lives where Gemini is your sun sign. And as you go through the full elliptical, through all your lifetimes, you get 360 degrees of knowledge. And you could say that some of us have, been through this 360 degrees. Hence, we done got our full circle of knowledge, and that's where the Ring of Solomon is also too. And Solomon, what Solomon dealt with, when you go look at the lesser key of Solomon, all this is sigils to connect with planetary energies. You know what I'm saying? And hence why the book of Enoch was taken out of the Bible, because when you read it, again, it speaks to the planetary transits and how planetary energies work. But if you have the book of Enoch, for one, it kind of takes away the Christ energy, because it shows that Enoch was one of the first ones that was talked to by, the angels in that sense of it, you know what I'm saying, not the Jesus aspect. So it's hard to sell that Christ died on the cross for your sins type of shit if you got the book of Enoch telling you about, matter of fact, the Apocrypha, again, I think the Apocrypha got the Songs of Solomon in it, if I'm not mistaken. So again, back to the Solomon energy, and Solomon's temple, our temple, our bodysuit, the zodiac signs go through our bodysuit. Aries head, Taurus like the neck area, shoulders, Gemini like the lungs or whatever, what else? The Cancer energy is like the kind of like the heart area and that essence of it. Leo kind of like the heart slash like digestive system, solar plexus energy, you know what I'm saying? It goes down, The Scorpio energy deals with the sexual energy, and hence again that also the allegory of Judas, the Scorpio energy, killing the Christ energy is a personification of also, like, again, when we let our sexual nature run too rampant, especially for the masculine energy, speaking to, again, with that Christ seed all that comes out of our sperm, that solar phallic light, that Papa Legba energy, and that's connected to Lazarus, Saint Lazarus, and also connected to Baron Samedi as well, and then the story of how Christ, raised Lazarus from the dead. But anyway, that solar phallic light, is squandered, are deprived whenever we continuously ejaculate. Because again, there's a way for us as men to have an orgasm without ejaculating and saving our Christ seed. You know what I'm saying? But again, like that Scorpio energy, it's like that, again, deals with the sexual energy. So it's like, again, that stinger from Judas, betraying us because, oh, I ejaculated, sexually. So, that sexual energy betrayed the Christ energy within us, you know what I'm saying? And hence why they got these little stories in the sense of it, you know. But again, back to the Saturn shakedown, Saturn retrograde. And say shakedown again, there's no bad, like it's actually a blessing. You look back at, like when I look back at certain, and again, to bring it in full circle, especially from the melanated community, or what we call black people, we come up through slavery and the whole, and matter of fact, hence why that shit was kind of like crazy that they're trying to put Adrian Peterson on blast. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to, like, it was okay. Again, it's all some dream realm shit anyway, you know what I'm saying? If he did whip his kid's ass, like, in a bad, abusive way, it was some karmic energy for that soul that was in his kid's bodysuit to deal with that situation. It is what it is, But, what I was gonna say, that discipline aspect, like, think about getting our ass whipped in that sense of it. But I was about to say, and from this human aspect, you know what I'm saying? Again, in these little bodysuits and what melanated bodysuits dealt with in slavery, was the whole aspect of, like, where ass whippings come from is from being in slavery. And it's like, if my child did something before the slave master get to my child and try to feed him to the alligators, or cut off his leg, or do some crazy shit, the women or the parents would take it upon themselves, and I say parents because the parents got moved around, so you may have not even been with your mom and daddy, but the parental figure on the plantation, would tear your fucking ass, to make it convincing to the slave master, like, all right, uh, so and so really whipped that, that baby ass or whatever, so I'm not gonna do nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying? So that ass whipping aspect comes from, from again, trying to stop the slave master from putting his hands on the kids. So, but again, like, think about those times we got punished or whipped or whatever, and you look back and reflect it, like, bro, I'm glad my mama punished me for this, or whip my ass for that, because I learned that lesson, or whatever the case may be. And that's kind of like that Saturn energy, you know what I'm saying, and what we're going through now. So again, we're reflecting on restructuring our rules, or re-examining what we call our rules and our reality, and breaking out of certain subconscious ways of thinking, in essence, schools of thought, so to speak, that no longer serve us, you know what I'm saying, and moving into, again, our truer essence, breaking out of this karmic energy. So we're letting go of past constructs, and we're making new ones to our unique soul purpose, you know what I'm saying? And again, old karmic relationships are being transmuted right now. So, like, certain people, places, and things, that again, we're dealing with, and you might feel like, oh man, I can't stand this energy, or I can't stand, well, yeah, because that's an old karmic energy that you haven't released, or you still got some hatred towards, or some type of disagreeable energy, when again, this is an aspect within yourself, you know what I'm saying? So as long as you keep hating this within, it'll keep showing up and bothering you externally until you learn how to love it. Loving it, again, realizing that, that higher energy and love transmute the bullshit. And even a lot of melanated people within the conscious realm still feel like they gotta fight somebody physically, when it's really, it's not. Like, of course, it doesn't mean you bow down or kiss the ass of somebody trying to oppress you. Again, unconditional love is not that. It's realizing, like, hey, this being is a little youngster, it's like a little young being. For one, I created this reality, and in order for anything heinous or evil or whatever to exist, I had to be that first and foremost. As a creator of this realm and as an elder god, I had to display that energy before some white man or European or whatever displayed this energy. And again, it's not to not do our due diligence at transmuting this energy, but again, it transmutes through us, doing the inner work. Because again, your heart can't weigh heavier than a feather. So if you letting the white man, you know, or these oppressor energies, you know, make you hate back, or feel like you gotta do something harmful back, then your heart energy is gonna get heavy. And when you transition, you're gonna end up back in this motherfucker because you didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get that aspect. And hence why, you know, because again, I made a video about how the melanated bodysuits are like, you know, getting the pick of the litter, like having an astronaut suit that's best suited for this realm, but that's also a personification of coming back reincarnated in this motherfucker, and you got a tan because you're always coming back underneath the sun. You know what I'm saying? And it's time for us to, you know, learn and transition out of that realm, you know. So again, we transmuting old karmic relationships. That's on all levels, you know, for the collective, you know, and yeah, for all of us. And again, karma is cause and effect, you know. And that Saturn energy deal with karma, discipline, boundaries, and structure. You know, and right now we're being asked to, you know, we're being encouraged to deal with wise decision making. Right now we're being disciplined by that Saturn to like make wise decision making and not make the same mistakes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times why we may deal with hardships with being an entrepreneur or doing certain things is because we're doing things in the same way we used to do things, and we're not letting go of old karmic contracts. You know, like say for myself, I'm not saying smoking bad or good. For myself, I had to step away from it a little bit in order to make sure I'm fully, you know, stepping into the realms of reality that on my soul purpose I signed up to step into. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say that I won't smoke anymore. Yeah, I'ma still take my puff whenever that time calls for it, but realizing, you know, to be more accountable and responsible about the way I deal with that, you know, and releasing that old contract of being stuck under, you know, because again, it may be an old contract where you use a roster a lot in your old past lives, or a city, whatever you call city or Sadu in India, you know what I'm saying? Again, that's all connected. Ethiopia or the land of Kush, move what they call eastern to the Indus Kush Valley, and you know, you get to Angkor Wat and all that. So that's kind of all the same people, same energies, you know. It's just different people thinking they dealing with different shit, but it's all, you know, same shit. Go do your research. And I spoke on another video, so I'm not going too deep into that. But again, dealing with wise decision making and doing what it takes to become more accountable. It's got to have the word adult right here, but again, we ain't gonna use that word adult. And I say adult is no good or bad word, you know, but again, doing what it takes to become more accountable on our spiritual growth, you know what I'm saying? And making sure we conquering tough situations. Now also the Pluto energy. You know, Pluto deals with death, transformation, regeneration, elimination, and rebirth, you know what I'm saying? And hence why they tried to take Pluto away from being a planet, because they didn't want you to connect with that energy, you know what I'm saying, on the astrological level, you know, and maybe hoping too that it wouldn't bust their ass and bring things up to the light, you know, and save their ass, but you know, the collective unconscious, you know, basically is part of Pluto energy too, and it's just all bubbling up to the conscious awareness for the collective. You know, that's why you're seeing all these little quote unquote scandals and, you know, conspiracies and things come to light. You know what I'm saying? But again, that Pluto energy retrograding, meaning we're reflecting on again our death process. Again, there's no death, birth, neither one is good or bad, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, like I tell people with good morning, when you say good morning, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, morning means death, and this is that, and I'm like, you know, and even I kind of was on that wave for a little second. I'm like, but I just like always knew like, nah, it's no good or bad. You know, a good morning could be mourning the old aspect of your old you that no longer serve you, and then there's the grand rising or the rebirth of, you know, that greatest version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So again, going through that transformation, regeneration, and also elimination. You know, like eliminating again all these things that no longer serve us, so we could transform into, you know, like that phoenix energy going through the fire. You know what I'm saying? When you go through that fire, you burning off all those little, you know, old aspects. You know what I'm saying? And coming out, you know, transform. So it's that aspect as well. And again, like some people may feel like it's meant to be in this realm forever. Yeah, we're gonna, as we clean up things, say for instance, yeah, it's meant for our bodysuit to be in this realm a little longer than it has been. Like, so like the average age of like maybe 70 or 80 years old of like when people transition, it should be a little longer, like maybe like 100 years plus, and somewhere in that little range, but not to live forever in this realm either. Again, it's a balance, and a part of this experience is just coming through for that experience, because again, fruits rot after staying around too long for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, fruit got a certain window when it's, it could be healthy fuel for us, and then it goes back into the ground, or like a old 12-year college senior, old 12-year college senior, or somebody who stays at a university or stays, in this realm for a long ass time. They could disrupt the other students, the new students' growth. You know what I'm saying? Because they telling like all the answers to the test, and now that's ruining the new students' experiences. Because here it is, they're not able to have the experience because this old being that been around, basically disrupting their experience by telling them everything, or basically like how I explain, like somebody telling you like you want to watch this movie and somebody gives you the whole rundown of the movie. It's like, shit, I don't even want to watch it no more, and that takes away the experience of watching it and being surprised, or certain aspects of our life. And hence why I tell people with psychic energy, you're only meant to see so much, because if you saw it all and knew it all, like what your experience would be if you knew it all, you know what I'm saying, and had it all figured out in that perspective of it, you know what I'm saying. Like, you wouldn't even have no experience, you know what I'm saying. So that's also, again, that analogy, the 12-year college senior could disrupt the growth of the kindergarten students and the high school students and all this, energy. You know, but that's basically it. And again, we're dealing with letting go of a lot of old karmic energies. So another thing too, don't see, because the more you judge these situations as bad, the more you would kind of get, stuck in that realm of having and dealing with it even more in a harsher way, because you're judging it as bad. Like, again, remember, like the dark night of the soul. We go through these things, like my pop's transition. Again, that's a soul that transition. Like, even again, like with a baby bodysuit, like that's a grown ass soul in that quote unquote baby. You know what I'm saying? That's a baby vehicle. That's a baby. That's like a new car, but that's not like oh, look at the child. And that doesn't mean that we support these oppressing energies like sacrificing babies and things of this nature. So I'm not saying that. I am saying, though, it's not for us to be heavy-hearted about it. And again, as we become knowledgeable and do our due diligence and work on our inner universe, our actions are going to reflect to shed light on, stopping these certain little situations like that sacrifice. But again, though, that 360 degrees of knowledge as a soul, I'm gonna reincarnate in all kind of different perspectives to learn about myself, because again, we're all the universe learning about itself, the no thing, having a human experience. So I'm gonna see what it feels like to be a father. I'm gonna see what it feels like to be a mother. I'm gonna see like it feels like to be a fatherless child. I'm gonna see what it feels like to be a motherless child. I mean, not motherless, but can't necessarily do that. Or more so being motherless as far as like, your mother have you and then she transition or whatever, so you never get to, you grow up without your mother, or I'm gonna see, and then I've been through all these perspectives. Let me see if I could come down in a baby bodysuit and be there for like about a year, and then transition and see if I could still remember that I was just the no thing on the human experience. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I could remember if I come down for a short period of time. Again, this is a soul, like souls going through experiences. It's not no humans being spiritual. Like, it is what it is. And if you feel like you should argue the point to say, oh, we're humans being spiritual, and let you, again, it ain't my job to let the dead lay with the dead. I got over 1,000 videos to help, and so that's why I don't have to debate. I feel like I gotta, because it's not my job to convince anybody of anything. again, when I was drinking my 40 ounces and doing my thing, popping Xanax, it wasn't nobody else could fix me. I had to fix me. I had to get tired of my own shit. I had to go through my darkness, in order to get to my light. You know what I'm saying? And realizing that the darkness and the light is just two sides of one coin. Heads or tails is all 25 cents. You know what I'm saying? And we get into that understanding to be more whole, and more balanced. It's about balance. And the reason why the feminine energy is coming up so strong is because the masculine energy has been overpowering, or however you say that, and has been unbalancing the energy within this plane, within this realm of reality, in this world. You think about a world like a whirlpool, you know what I'm saying, and how the Taurus field has a whirl like a tornado, like a whirlpool, you know what I'm saying. It's all connected, because again, our universe, coming in our Taurus, because we each got Taurus fields, around us and and moving within us in that sense of it, you know what I'm saying. And right now we're moving through the 0 point, like, and I done explained this before. I'm see if I could attach. Matter of fact, let me write that down. Taurus field video to attach Taurus field video. Chakra. So I just posted this on my Instagram, tagging at the end of this video. So it could be right there for you. See, I do my best. I'm gonna do my best. But again, that's basically what we're dealing with. Removing this heavy karma. Because again, when the heart get weighed on that scale, it can't be, it can't be heavier than a feather, and that's a personification of just your heart shouldn't be heavy. Again, hence why they created the 10 commandments, to make you feel like, oh, thou should not do this, so you can look at these things as bad and create this. Because again, and hence why our subconscious programming, where it starts at, but again, that's karmic energy that we chose to deal with and work out. Our parents teaching us that, hey, this is desired behavior and this is undesired behavior. Matter of fact, write that down. I got a video that deals with that as well. Chakra energy and our parenting, our earlier subconscious programming of that right and wrong bullshit. There's no right, no wrong, but we get coached about, oh, this is undesired behavior, this is desired behavior, this is right, this is wrong. And then you coach yourself into that realm, within your mind, and you create those situations. But again, no good, bad, right or wrong in that sense of it. But again, that's basically it. Yep. When we dealing with these, again, retrogrades, just reflective energy, you know what I'm saying? But that's basically it. That's all I have to say about that. Shout out to my name, Forrest Gump. I must have drunk about 15 Dr. Peppers. Basically it, y'all. Peace, happy down again before I get to the outro. Any and all donations really appreciated. Donation links all of my videos, Cash App donation link, Venmo donation link, and PayPal donation link, and also making everybody aware that I have created my Patreon page, so it's no longer gonna be, like the, certain videos that deserve to not be on YouTube and not be free game. I got enough of free game. I got over 1,000 videos worth of free game, and people still may complain about how long videos is and stuff like that. I ain't mad at them, though. They're just being the unique energy that they are. You know what I'm saying? Or a reflection of my energy that, or reason why they coming up because if I feel like I dislike that energy, like, oh man, I dislike somebody complaining about something, then that energy pops up within my realm for me to realize, like, all right, I got some type of a beef with it, or this energy is active within my realm, so it's coming up for me to, realize to deal with it and love that energy and not hate it, like, hey, I love the aspect of me that will complain about a long video. It's okay, it is what it is. Again, the Patreon is created, and I'm posting videos on there soon. Matter of fact, I got one already drawn up, just a little sneak peek. Well, download on some energy. Oops, can't put it too long because some of y'all gonna pause the video and read all my notes. But little download on the energy of Zarabanda and in connection with our inner energies and the connection with Bobby Hemming and his videos and get certain information. But that'll be on Patreon. And like all my certain psychedelic trips that it's like a little like TMI videos, like a little bit of too much information off for sure, because YouTube ain't gonna want to deal with it or gonna try to flag it or some shit. Patreon, behind the scenes videos, Patreon, interviews, Patreon, and I'm speaking on this on my intro video on Patreon. So, again, in the first tier of subscription is $3 a month. That's manageable. And that's just starting right now. I'm revising as I go, but it's all good. Peace. Happy now. Now the vibrator course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. And all donations greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe if you're vibing with the information. If you're vibing with the information, hit the like button. It helps with the algorithms. For the videos to pop up. To work against the algorithms that's trying to keep our videos hitting. And that's for all, anybody who videos you like and feel like people should know of these videos and this information. Make sure you're liking these people's videos, no matter what YouTuber or person it is, what I'm saying, YouTuber, whatever, but making sure, again, but yeah, that's it, yep, that's it. Now the vibration.